All right. Hi, I'm April, and welcome to the Caldwell Senior Center Zoom Coffee Chat, Food for Thought. And today we are making my favorite dessert. This is a dessert that I make and take to every function I have to take food to because it's easy and it's quick, and I can put it together in just a few minutes, which you're going to see. It's really a trifle, but it is a multi-purpose recipe that you can make in a zillion different ways. The base of the recipe stays the same and you can change and add in. So because it's Memorial Weekend, we are going to do this today. We're going to do my patriotic version again that you can do. So basically what you need to make this is an angel food cake or some other type of cake. You don't have to use angel food cake. That's my preference. I have made this with pound cake. I have made this with chocolate cake. I have made this with whatever store-bought kind of cake I can find. I've done a lemon version. I've done all kinds of different flavor combinations. You need 2 packs of Jell-O instant pudding. Doesn't have to be Jell-O. That just sort of happens to be what was on sale at the grocery store. You can use a store brand or another brand. You need 1 container of Cool Whip. So y'all that know me well know that I really try to eat very well and very healthy, and I try to avoid processed ingredients, and I try to avoid sugar. None of that is happening in this recipe. I am using all the bad stuff, and that's what makes it so good, but it's really okay to have bad stuff in moderation. You know, if you try to, I don't eat this every day. I'll probably make this today, and then I'm going to give it to Ingrid and Vicki here at the Senior Center. I'm probably not going to eat it, but this is everybody's favorite recipe. So you also need 3 cups of milk and then some type of fruit combination. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we get there. So the first thing that you're going to do, very simple, is take both packs of your instant pudding. You can make this with the, oh, there it is. Sorry, I lost my pudding. You can make this with the kind that you have to cook if you want to put that much time and effort into it. I use the instant. I think it's great, but you're not going to make it according to the directions on the box. So take your 2 packs, put them in your bowl, throw your box away, because we are not following the directions. I don't like directions. So we're going to do it completely differently. So you just put that in a bowl. The box will tell you to make the pudding. You use 2 cups of milk for each box. We're not going to do that. We are going to use 3 cups of milk. So you can I use vanilla pudding today because I want the color combination because it's patriotic. I'm trying to be pretty, which you're going to find it's kind of messy, but it's still pretty at the same time. The 3 cups of milk into your pudding. And then you're just going to whisk that up until everything gets dissolved. And I forgot my whisk at home, and I had to come here to the Senior Center and find one. And we have a sorry selection of them. So this one's kind of small, and if I let go of it, it's going to disappear into my bowl because my bowl's a little big. But you just want to stir this until everything is mixed in. Just kind of easy to see. There's a glare. Sorry. Until it's mixed in. And then you're going to let it just sit aside for 2 or 3 minutes until it starts to thicken up a little bit. And you're going to take, if you want it to be pretty, now this is a multi-purpose dessert. I'm going to make it in a glass bowl so you can see how pretty it is. You can make this in individual servings in a jar. It's really cute. If you're patient and you want to put all those jars together. I've done it. Not my favorite thing. I'm using the vanilla pudding. You can use chocolate pudding. You can use cheesecake flavored pudding. You can use lemon pudding. I've done this exact same recipe with angel food cake and raspberries and lemon pudding. It's really good. Today we're using strawberries and blueberries. So angel food cake. Here we go. It's beautiful. I made it myself. No, I didn't really make it myself. This is an Ingles store-bought angel food cake. You can make the angel food cake yourself if you like to and you're patient. I am not patient, and I have tried to make angel food cake and it doesn't come out the same consistency. So you're just going to cut this into chunks, however big, small, whatever you want. I have big pieces because I like mine to be substantial. And we're just going to layer it in the bottom of your bowl while you're waiting on your pudding to thicken up a little bit. So I'm just going to put the angel food cake. Again, could use pound cake. See, I like to try to think of what kind of combinations I could make this with that would be, you know, different and yummy. And there is no, the best part about this dessert, there is no rhyme or reason to putting this really together. You just cut up your cake and you just squish it into the bottom of the bowl. I don't know how to get the glare to go away. I'm sorry about that. But it's just kind of layered into the bottom. And while my pudding is still working, I have pre-cut my fruit. Here's the other thing. You can use this with any kind of fruit. See how pretty? I'm using strawberries and blueberries because, you know, we're going with that red, white, and blue theme. You can use fresh fruit. You can use frozen fruit. You can use canned fruit. Done that too. Anything that works, anything that you like, flavor combinations. I did the strawberries and blueberries. I used fresh ones, and I just cut up my strawberries, tossed them with some blueberries, and sprinkled a little bit of sugar over the top, less than 1/4 cup, just to get a little bit of juice going. And we're just going to layer that a little bit over the top of your cake. And I like to make sure it gets on the edge of my bowl so that you can see it through the glass. And you can use, I've used frozen fruit. Vicki and I were having a conversation earlier that I like to make this without the sugar on the fruit and just have the fresh fruit cut up and then layer it. My husband likes it with the fruit coated in sugar and all juicy and syrupy, so all the syrup soaks into your cake. So it's kind of a personal preference. You can see our pudding is starting to kind of thicken up. So we're going to take the pudding and our container of Cool Whip, our 1 container of Cool Whip. And take your whisk or your spoon, whatever you want to take. We're just going to put that into the pudding mixture. So if you wanted to make this sugar-free, you can actually get, and I cook a lot of times for some diabetics, so you can get sugar-free angel food cake at a lot of the grocery stores. You can get sugar-free pudding, you can get sugar-free Cool Whip, so you could actually make this in a sugar-free mixture if you chose to do so. And then we're just going to stir this together until your Cool Whip is blended in with your pudding. And so it's going to take your kind of yellowy looking pudding. Note to anyone watching this video, don't use a stainless steel bowl with fluorescent lights because it makes a really bad glare. So I'm just going to stir that together. And then I'm going to make a layer of the pudding mixture on top of my fruit. And it doesn't have to be like perfectly covered or anything like that. I just use about half of the mixture. However thick you want to make this. And then we're going to take, I'm making a mess, there's stuff all over the counter. We're going to cut up the rest of your cake. So if you need to make sure your bowl is big enough to hold the whole cake. We had that issue this morning because the bowl I use to make this when I take it places is actually not big enough to hold the entire, well, it holds the entire, but it's not see-through, it's not glass. So we had to find a bowl that was big enough to hold everything. So now I just have another layer of the angel food cake. And then I'm going to take the rest of my berries and sprinkle those around the edges. And then cover the top of the fruit. Or cover the top of the fruit. Listen to me. Cover the top of the cake. Now you know why we haven't had a successful cooking show. The host doesn't know what she's doing. And I just pour all of that over. So any syrup that's left in the bowl, any juice, I just drizzle that over, let it soak into the cake. And I take the rest of my mixture and we just sort of squish it all around And then I spread it over. Oh, you are gonna love this. This is not gonna work right. So you have to be really careful with your proportions to make sure that you have enough to cover the entire top of your dessert to make it really pretty. So my secret trick, so that I avoid what is getting ready to happen right now, at home, I always have a spare container of Cool Whip. So if I don't have quite enough to cover the top, I can put a layer of Cool Whip back on the top because I don't have quite enough to cover the whole top. And you can see a little bit. Now, I don't know. I don't mind. I probably would leave this way because a little bit of the fruit's sticking out. But you can see how pretty and red, white, and blue everything is in here. And it really is fun. I made this for, I think it was a 4th of July thing that we did. And I had little jelly jars that were packed with this. And so it was just like a piece of cake and a little bit of fruit and the stuff on top of it all in a little jar. And then I put little like red, white, and blue ribbons, tying spoons to the sides of the jars. I made this, like I said, one of my favorite ones is pound cake and lemon pudding and raspberries. I have made it with angel food cake and crushed pineapple. Done that one, and vanilla pudding. I have done a chocolate cake I've done it both with strawberries and raspberries before, and chocolate pudding. So it's like really, really chocolatey. And then you have that strawberry raspberry that goes with it. I've added crushed cookies to it. So sometimes I'll do like a lemon one and do crushed cookies in there with it or on top of it. So it's just really a really, really simple, quick, easy dessert. Everybody likes it. It's kind of messy. It's kind of, you don't have to be perfect. I love to cook, but I'm not really precise with putting things together and making them look pretty. That's Ingrid's job. She does that. I'm not a decorator, so I can't bake cakes and like decorate them and make them look pretty. So I just like things I can throw in a bowl. So this is my very versatile recipe. If you try a flavor combination, you would need to let me know so I can see if it's one I need to add if I haven't done it. So there is our Memorial Day trifle. We're going to celebrate here in a little bit and taste it and see how it sits. It's best to make this a few hours ahead so that the juices can kind of soak in and the flavors can kind of meld together. But I have literally made it and walked out and served it before, so it's still okay that way too. But thank you for coming. And if you want copies of the recipe, I think we have a question.
I have an idea.
Oh, okay.
What about something for fall where you do ginger snaps and then mix pudding and sugar and cream cheese and layer that?
Actually, they make a pumpkin pudding that you can buy sometimes in the fall. So you could do it with that and do it with the pumpkin pudding. You could also I have done I have a cinnamon pound cake recipe. So you could do it with like a cinnamon pound cake and those pumpkin-y flavors. Yeah, that would be really good. And the ginger snaps would be great. And you can really, I've made it at Christmas. I've made it at all kinds of times. So, Irv, did you have a question? I thought he unmuted, but I can't hear him. Maybe not. Now he's muted again. All right, well, that's our cooking show for today. Thank you for joining us.